Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Hawaii Virtual College Fair. We are going to wait just another minute or so, let all the students find their way into the room, click all the right Zoom buttons. So again, thanks for being here. We'll get started here in just a minute or so. Okay, it looks like we have our group, so we will go ahead and get started. Again, just want to say welcome to the Hawaii Virtual College Fair. We are excited that you're here. We have a great group of colleges and universities and speakers for you this evening, so hopefully you will learn a lot about the colleges that you're interested in tonight. First thing, just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. One, your camera and microphone are turned off, so don't worry, we can't see you or hear you, but hopefully you can see and hear us okay. If for some reason you can't or that changes, just send us a message using the Q&A button on your Zoom toolbar, and we'll be happy to help troubleshoot that with you. Also, speaking of the Q&A button, that's really your best way to engage with our presenters tonight. So if you have questions throughout the session, feel free to type those in the Q&A box at any time through the session, starting now through the very end. It doesn't just have to be while that college is presenting. You're welcome to ask them before, during, or after, and they'll be responding to those throughout the entire session. They can be college specific or general questions that you'd like everyone to answer. So just keep that in mind, but feel free to submit those throughout the evening. Um, also, don't forget that this is just one of many sessions being offered, so don't forget to check back on the StriveScan website where you signed up for additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as all of the recordings. All of these sessions are being recorded, and so those will all be posted at that website within about a week or so. As far as our schedule for tonight, I'm going to switch slides here. So we are right at the bottom in the middle, session C7. So we are going to hear from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, Woodbury University, Humboldt State University, University of Alaska Anchorage, University of California Irvine, and Washington State University. And so to kick things off, we are going to go over to the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Awesome, thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen. And one more. There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Sarah Blank. I'm the admissions officer for University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'm based on the West Coast. Here is my email, so you're welcome to write it down and touch base at any point in time if I can assist you through the application process or just any information regarding UW-Madison. We are part of the Big Ten Athletic Conference, also the Big Ten Athletic or Academic Alliance, excuse me. We're a large public institution. We're the flagship school in the state of Wisconsin, but about 40% of our students are coming from outside the state of Wisconsin, about 7,000 incoming freshmen every year. Our students are coming from a wide variety of backgrounds, geographic regions, academic areas of study, but the common denominator between them is that our students are academically curious, they're passionate about subjects and areas of interest, just things that they're doing outside and inside the classroom. They're very socially engaged, so our students are active once they step foot on campus in a lot of different ways, and they're very engaged with our professors. We actually have a high ranking on Rate My Professor, so you're welcome to check that out if you want. Our students love working with our professors and our faculty and really finding that academic experience at Wisconsin quite engaging. This is an aerial shot of campus. The bottom left corner is Lake Mendota, so our campus goes right up into the lake. Very residential campus community. We are a college town, but we're also a capital city. So students interested in public service, public health, political activism, social justice really find a home in a very unique place. If you're following the news, Wisconsin is constantly mentioned, for example. So really interesting place for our students to learn, to develop, to feel supported in a very collaborative academic environment. We're not a competitive academic environment, though our students are coming in with strong academic profiles from high school. Madison is great foodie scene, great outdoor scene, live music. We are also, as I mentioned, part of the Big Ten Athletics or athletic conference. So that pride and that school spirit really runs deep through Madison. And that Badger pride is something that you really can't quite get to the same degree elsewhere. The whole state really rallies around the Badgers. So especially having that big school mentality, that big school spirit is who we are. The Wisconsin idea is our guiding principle. It's everything we do at the university should impact the world around us for good. So while we're proud of our rankings, we're very proud of the reputation that we have in terms of what our students and what our faculty are doing in and out of the classroom. They're actively involved in the community. We look for students who are passionate about a wide variety of areas, but especially those that are interested in making the world a better place and how can we take what we're doing in the classroom and apply it to real world challenges and real world solutions. So for those of you definitely applying, keep that in mind as you submit your applications. We have a lot of different academic areas of study. These are our 8 schools and colleges. So within each of these, you'll find all of our different majors and programs. The School of Business and College of Engineering are 2 of our most competitive programs, so they do have a direct entry option. Always happy to share more about that. We do have certificates instead of minors. These are areas of specialization. So for students who are interested in complementing their major with a specific specialization, or if they're just interested in a specific topic outside their major and want to keep it part of their academic experience, that's where certificates really come into play. But our School of Business, going back to that, ranked number 7 in public schools of business, excuse me. College of Engineering, most of our programs are ranked top 15. Our CALS, our College of Ag and Life Sciences, we are known as the Dairy State. So a lot of our students interested in ag business, and that's also for a lot of our pre-med track types of students. And then our College of Letters and Science is our largest college at the university, so home to humanities, social sciences, environmental sciences. We do have a law school, a medical school as well, and a veterinary school. So we do see a lot of students across the board coming for so many different academic disciplines. You're certain to find which one you're looking for. There's lots of ways to take that large school and make it smaller. Our students are very much engaged. They're go-getters. They get involved right away. And that's how they really create that sense of home, whether it's identifying and joining some of our various religious or cultural communities, student organizations that relate to their academic areas of interest, Greek life, intramural sports. So our campus is very much active all the time, especially being a college town. Our students are taking advantage of a wide variety of opportunities to kind of round out their entire academic experience at Wisconsin. In terms of our application process, we do conduct a holistic admission review. First and foremost, we want to make sure that you'll academically be successful. So a lot of our West Coast students use the Common Application. We do have 2 essay requirements. One would be through the Common App, and one is a Why Wisconsin supplement, where you can share a little bit more specifics on your areas of interest academically, socially, and ways that you feel Wisconsin might be a good fit for you, and vice versa. The letter of recommendation should be ideally from a teacher, someone who can share more about who you are in the classroom. And then we are test optional through spring of 2023. So students who opt out of submitting test scores, you will not be disadvantaged in the process. We know how crazy this year has been for you and might continue to be. So please feel comfortable in that. And then we do have 2 deadlines. One is early action and one is regular decision. So keep that in mind and just monitor those deadlines. Lastly, it's really important to make a good financial decision, and on top of making a good academic and social and finding that right fit for you, as we like to say. So we are a public institution. We have an out-of-state tuition cost, miscellaneous expenses like grabbing a cup of coffee on your way to class, online shopping, extracurricular activities are really person-to-person costs, travel to and from Hawaii. And then housing as well. So we do have 21 different residence halls on campus for students to choose from if they want to live on campus, which we definitely encourage. All of our scholarships you have to apply for separately. So keep that in mind. One of the benefits of applying early action is it lets you start applying for scholarships earlier. And then any other forms of financial assistance comes through the FAFSA free application for federal student aid. So that lets us know what you're eligible for in terms of possible grants, student loans, and so forth. And with that, again, my email is just my first name, Sarah with an H, .blank at wisc.edu. And feel free to use the Q&A if you have any questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Sarah. Okay, next up, oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. Next up, we are going to go to Woodbury University with Elizabeth.
All right, let me share my screen. All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Elizabeth, and I am an admissions counselor at Woodbury University. We are located in Burbank, California, which is widely considered to be the entertainment capital of the entertainment industry. So I'm going to be talking to you about 10 reasons to choose Woodbury University. So first and foremost, internships and job opportunities. At Woodbury, we require you to complete an internship before graduation, which we believe will prepare you for the industry that you're planning to go into. It's about 120 hours, and it really does lead to job placement after college. So we've interned at some amazing places: Warner Brothers, BuzzFeed, the Walt Disney Company, NASA JPL, and also Pixar, just to name a few. Our job placement rate is pretty high. It's a little over 90%, students working within 6 months of graduation, or they go to graduate school. Reason number 2 is a long history in business education. We were founded in 1884. We are a private nonprofit school, and really it was a place to be to get your business degree. The picture is rather pixelated on the bottom left-hand corner. I apologize, but that's a picture from the 40s. It's some of our Hawaiian students who crossed the ocean and left their families to study business at Woodbury. So we do have a really lovely history with your state. Most importantly, our School of Business programs hold Aacsb Accreditation, which is really the gold standard for business degrees. Most Fortune 500 companies will not entertain an applicant unless they have an Aacsb degree. So something to think about. Practice-based education is reason number 3. We do believe in hands-on learning. It's the best way to see how that works outside of the classroom. So we do believe in film students working on live sound stages. Fashion design students do work in cutting rooms and create patterns and make clothing. Our architecture students work in our makers lab, fabricating things in our CNC mill and our 3D printers and our wood shop and metal shop. Learning how to use the programs and actually touching the materials is really going to kind of add value to that education and makes it less theoretical and more live. Reason number 4 is studio culture. So for those of you who are interested in design-based programs, animation, game art and design, filmmaking, architecture, you're going to have a dedicated space on campus for you to actually create your work. This is very different than your standard lecture classes where everyone's in the room of a professor or a teacher. They lecture, the class is done, and then you leave and they stay. It's actually the reverse. You will essentially own your space for the semester, and your professors come and check in with you, give you feedback, and make sure that you're good to go with that project, and then they leave. And then again, you get to stay. Most importantly, our studios are open 24/7 and are completely safe. They're locked with access only by key card. Number 5 is a competitive track to architecture licensure. If you are interested in becoming an architect, you may not know that it takes a license to actually be called an architect, similar to a doctor or lawyer. It takes upwards of 14 years, 1-4, to actually be licensed as an architect. So Woodbury is one of 2 schools in Southern California that has the IPAL program. This is the program that basically takes it from 14 years to 6 years. You'll be done at the end of 6 years with your degree, your experience hours, and your licensure exams, and become a fully fledged architect by the end of your time at college. Reason number 6, merit scholarships for incoming students. We know that going to a private school is a huge investment. So essentially, the higher your GPA, the higher the scholarship. So Woodbury does want to reward you for your time in high school and all of your hard work. So we have scholarships ranging from $5,000 all the way up to $18,000. They are renewable. And again, this is before FAFSA or a dollar comes out of your family's pocket, or private scholarships in addition. So keep your grades up, definitely. Reason number 7 is free resources. So college is so much more than just going to class. We want you to take full advantage of the college experience. We want you to join clubs, whether that's Greek life, a cultural club, an interest-based club, or a major club. We want you to take advantage of our yoga and meditation that we hold weekly. We want you to go seek counseling if you need mental counseling, or visit the nurse, or go to the library and learn how to do research properly with our librarian. We want you to take advantage of all of that. And again, all those resources are completely free for students at Woodbury. Number 8 is a small school perk. So we are a small school. We have about 1,200 students on our campus. And again, it's kind of like its own small town. So it's not all that different than the vibe in Hawaii, right? So everyone helps each other. Everybody knows each other. And I love that about Woodbury and the culture there. Your fellow classmates become your friends and family. Your teachers become your mentors. I'm going to call quick attention to the graduation picture on the left. That's my buddy Bennett. He's in the front with the lei-on and the burgundy sash. He just graduated from Woodbury with a degree in interior design, and he is from Oahu. We're very proud of him. Reason number 9 is an interdisciplinary approach to learning. We know that the world is very collaborative in nature. Some things that don't necessarily relate do relate. And we are a liberal arts university at our heart. So we want you and encourage you to take classes outside of your major. We want you to feel comfortable studying things, again, like that don't relate. So if you're a filmmaker, I would want you to take a psychology class, or a business class, or a graphic design class. Really, it's up to you. And reason 10, civic engagement. We do believe in leaving this world better than we found it. Civic engagement is built into every part of our curriculum. We do want to make sure that we are putting out graduates that are going to do good in this world and, again, make their mark in very, very positive ways. We have existing partnerships with the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA and do tons of really wonderful things for our community. This is a quick screen cap. You can take a snapshot of this. It's just all of the reasons why you should consider Woodbury. And lastly, we have an open house in January. Check that out. And here's my information. You can follow us on Instagram and myself on Instagram and email me. Mahalo. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Okay, next up, we are going to Humboldt State University with Vanessa.
Great, thank you. My name is Vanessa. I'm an admissions counselor at Humboldt State University, but I'm also a proud alum from Humboldt State. If you haven't heard about us, we are in California, in Northern California. We're part of the California State University system. So there's 23 great options in California, and we hold it down in Northern California. It's a very beautiful part right by the ocean, which is familiar. So kind of that comfort. But we also have the beautiful redwoods that line the back of our campus. Not only a gorgeous place to live, but it's really a space that we use for our education. We use our outdoors, we get involved in the community. It's a very tight-knit area. I think a big part of that too is the size. It's definitely a smaller college town, more rural area. One of my favorite parts about being a student was the classroom size and getting to know, your advisors, your professors, and kind of building those relationships. So that was something that I really valued as a student. We are a WUI school. We do have the WUI program. What's really great about it is as long as you meet those requirements and you reside in these states, which you do, you are automatically a part of our WUI program. And I will definitely show the tuition differences later on so you can really see that. But one of the biggest benefits to it is it cuts your tuition and fees in half. So out of state is normally about $20,000 a year for a full-time student. With this program, it's about $10,000. And just put your zip code. We may ask you a few questions about just making sure that you had your high school education or transfer education within these states for X amount of time, but it's pretty automatic. Something that we are really passionate about is being leaders in sustainability and social justice. These are concepts that you will see in all of our programs, no matter what major you're in, but also in our community. So you'll see some things highlighted here. These are actually student started or student run. So really passionate group of students and something that you'll learn more about at Humboldt. We do have 3 different colleges within our university and about 48 majors, so quite a range, anything from education to kinesiology to biology and oceanography. We're one of the only programs in California that actually has oceanography. We do have our own research vessel, which is pretty amazing for undergrad students. Science is not my strength, and I saw that boat when I was your guys' shoes, and I was like, I'm gonna get on that boat. And I did through general education, and it was a really great experience. So even if you're not majoring in any of these, through general education, you will have a chance to be exposed to a lot of these fields, whether it be music, art, dance, Native American studies, quite a bit of range there. And again, that hands-on and community involvement is really big in our education. I do just want to highlight some cultural and academic support that you have, anything from free tutoring, advising. If you're a student out there who you saw that whole list of majors and you're hearing all about it and you don't know what you want to do yet, that is totally okay. You can actually come in as undeclared. That is a major that we offer, and you just get your advisor in the Career and Academic Advising Center, and through conversation and assessments, maybe taking some intro classes, they really help and guide you in making those choices in what you want to do. I also want to just highlight campus life, and that's a big part of the college experience, especially if you're going away from home and getting to meet all kinds of people from all over. Clubs, organizations, shows, all those kind of things are really great spaces to continue your hobbies or learn something new, as well as meet more people. So I always like to highlight that. I do get a lot of questions about our housing. It's not required, but definitely recommended, especially if you're coming from out of state. We do have some great freshman, transfer, and returning options, and that's kind of just a glimpse of campus too. And then I always like to mention transportation. That's a big question for my Hawaii students. We do have an airport that's 5 minutes north of campus, so you can fly in. But when you get there, it's a pretty small college town, so it's easy to get around. But we do have a program called Zipcar. It's super cheap, or it's super affordable, and something that you can use to use the car temporarily if you wanted to go explore and check out the area. And then just to break down costs and requirements, I always encourage, if there's any seniors out there or transfer students, if you haven't done FAFSA, cancel your plans this weekend and do FAFSA, because we definitely want to get that in ASAP. And there are opportunities for scholarships, and we even have student jobs even in this climate. We actually have more student jobs now in this climate, so definitely something to take advantage of if that's something you want to do while you're in school. And then to break down our costs, you can see the differences. So for you guys would fall into our WUI program, and that's where you can see the differences in the tuition and fees. And then of course, the other categories are all going to depend on your lifestyle, but I usually tell my Hawaii students that it's about $25,000 to $28,000 for the whole year. And I know I'm getting down to my last minute, so I do want to highlight requirements because the CSUs, we did have some changes this year with everything going on. But what still stays true, of course, is to graduate high school, your A to G coursework. But what did change was our eligibility index requirement. We used to balance your test scores and your GPA. But we actually are not requiring tests this year. So for non-residents, it's a 3.0 GPA and above. And if you're a senior, you can already apply through the Cal State Apply application. It's one application out to all 23 campuses if you wanted to. Make sure you have your unofficial transcripts with you, because we do require you to enter in all of your coursework for that auto eval to be admitted pretty quickly. And then if you're a transfer student, these are the requirements. If you decide to go that route, which is a great route, just work with your transfer center and myself. And I know that it's a lot of info all at once, so definitely check out these schools' websites. They've done a lot of great work at trying to bring the experience to you. And then last second, this is my info, so you can take a picture, do a QR code to connect. And yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Great, thank you, Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up we are going to the University of Alaska Anchorage with Cassie.
One second to share my screen. Okay, well, hello everyone. I believe it's afternoon for you. My name is Cassie Kiefer, and I'm the Director of Admissions at the University of Alaska Anchorage. I am excited to talk with you a little bit today about what makes UAA a wonderful place to continue your education. UAA is a premier university with a broad and rigorous academic programs and an inspiring location. It is a place where culture, innovation, and adventure converge. Let's start with the location. UAA is located in Anchorage, Alaska's largest city with nearly 300,000 people. UAA's campus is right in the middle. We like to say our campus is urban wild. Students have immediate access to shopping, dining, entertainment, and other perks of city living, but there's also over 100 miles of hiking and biking trails right on campus and leading into campus. We have 2 ski resorts close. If you're a skier, we have our world famous Alyeska ski resort just 30 minutes away, and a smaller ski resort right here in town. There's also plenty of opportunities for camping, fishing, berry picking, and more. And while yes, there is a lot of snow in the winter, it doesn't stay dark all of the time. On winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, there's still 5.5 hours of daylight. And to balance that, on summer solstice, the longest day of the year, there is 22 hours of daylight. UAA is a mid-sized university with nearly 12,000 students on campus. We maintain a 16:1 student to faculty ratio. Our small class sizes allow students to get to know their professors and learn in a rich and diverse and inclusive environment. It truly is the best of both worlds. You get the education and research opportunities of attending a big school, but the one-on-one attention and assistance of a smaller university. UAA was recently ranked in the top 15% nationally for best long-term return on investment and ranked #1 amongst our peer institutions. That long-term return on investment means that graduates with a bachelor's degree will make more over the course of their life than those with no college degree. UAA graduates have gone on to launch successful careers at companies like Microsoft, Alaska Airlines, Providence Health and Services, ConocoPhillips, and many others. A little bit about us as an institution. We are an open access institution, which means that it is our institutional mission to decrease barriers to entry whenever possible. That means we are test optional and always have been. We do recommend that you take the ACT or the SAT for scholarship reasons and class placements, but they are not required for admission. Additionally, our application is free, straightforward. It takes about 15 minutes to complete, and there are no essay requirements. So let's talk about student life here. There are lots of ways to get involved and find other students who share your interests. We have over 100 clubs and organizations, everything from student chapters of professional associations and academic areas of interest to a very active esports team. If you don't see a club that that fits for you, then you can start your own. We've got 6 Greek organizations, a very active and involved student government, and lots of student employment opportunities. Our Seawolf debate team is ranked among the top 10 programs in the world. We also have student-run media, including a campus radio station and an award-winning student newspaper, The Northern Light. We have 3 art galleries on campus, as well as Division 1 and 2 sports teams, with attendance free to those for all students. We also have a host of intramural teams, so whether it's as a competitor or as a fan, you can find your fit as a Seawolf. So let's talk a little bit about academics. Our degree programs are offered through 5 colleges with over 100 programs to choose from. And choosing to attend college in Alaska's largest city has its perks. You'll have access to hands-on learning, as well as internships and jobs in the industry of your choice. It also means having access to cutting-edge research opportunities, to Arctic studies, climate change, natural resources, wildlife, and more. Our students are doing amazing research in natural sciences, social sciences, economic development, justice, and beyond. If you're not sure what degree you want, we also have an exploratory program where you can find what you are passionate about. So let's talk a little bit more about the value of a UAA degree. We offer over 350 scholarships, as well as have awarded over $26 million in those scholarships and grants to our students. Your college degree is an investment. With the help of the Western Undergraduate Exchange, or WUI, we offer reduced tuition to students from participating states, which includes Hawaii. At UAA, there is no additional application for WUI. We automatically apply the WUI rate to students who identify as residents of a WUI state on the application. So this slide compares the cost of WUI to our non-resident for a full-time or 12-hour credit hours for 1 year on that cost. We also do offer additional tuition discounting for military affiliated students who meet those requirements. If Alaska doesn't offer you enough adventure, or if you've always wanted to exchange program in college, we offer both international study abroad and national student exchange. These programs range from 1 week to a semester to a year away. Many of these programs allow you to pay UAA tuition while you're away and take those scholarships and financial aid with you. If you want to learn more, we have several virtual opportunities coming up. We do have a virtual tour on our website. You can always click around on there. You can sign up for one of our green and gold visit days. That is where an admission counselor will walk you through that virtual visit, as well as talk to you a little bit more about campus and all of our wonderful opportunities. We encourage you to bring friends and family with you on that visit, and it is a great opportunity to have all of your questions answered. We also have a preview day coming up. We've got a website there to sign up for our visits, as well as if you do /apply, it is our application and gets you right into there. There is my contact information with my direct email, or you can email futureseawolf@alaska.edu. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you, Cassie. Okay, next up we are going to the University of California, Irvine with David.
Hi, everybody. This is great. Thanks for stopping by my virtual table with all the rest of these great options near me. It's hard to get your attention, I think. Let's see. So yes, I want to do that. Let's get something up here for you to see. So I was thinking about what Woodbury was saying about 10 things that they wanted to share with you. And gosh, 6 minutes isn't much. So I'm thinking 6 things is about all I can fit in. So this is an opening screenshot of just some of our accolades. And one of the things I'll point out really quickly is that where you heard where Humboldt is, we're about as far away as you can get in California. We're at the very southern part of the state, about halfway down from LA to San Diego. And also, we're proud to say that we're one of the most applied to universities in the country. So number one, this is one thing I want you to know about. Location is important. Where you tend to go to school oftentimes is where you tend to make friends, where you might make a start in life. And Orange County, where we're located, is a wonderful, affluent, really beautiful suburban type of community. You'll find about 281 sunny days right there on the coast. We're right behind Newport Beach near Huntington Beach. And also, I think your parents will appreciate that Irvine, year after year after year, is ranked by the FBI as one of the safest cities and areas in the country. And, you know, I know the Hawaii beaches, it just can't compare. But if you're missing being by the coast, you'll get those sea breezes. You'll be able to go to our sailing center, a lot of surf spots, the Wedge, Newport Beach, all the way down to where I live in Trestles in San Clemente. Lots of great places for you to get to as far as the coast. Second thing, well, you heard this too, another school was mentioning interdisciplinary. That's really important because some of what we try to do is bring together different topics or subjects that might be of interest to you. So you might have an interest in something like criminology, but you might also have an interest in something like psychology or possibly sociology or urban studies. So when we do our education at UCI, we actually have to educate the entire state of California, any of the students that would want to come to us. So we have to offer just about everything you can think of. But what we try to do, even though we're a larger campus of 30,000, is we try to make a big place by design get a little bit smaller for you. So if you can imagine what I'm showing you here with this illustration, what we have is sort of a central park to our campus, and that's a 20-acre Aldrich Park there in the center. But around it is sort of a village, and in that village, there's a set of schools. And you would actually belong to one of those schools. It wouldn't be that you'd have to belong to this whole campus. You actually would have almost your own neighborhood or part of that campus. So if you are interested, for instance, in the arts, my niece went to UCI, in fact, to be a drama major, an actor. There's an actual set of buildings with faculty, with teachers, with counselors that will help you, and all of the studios and dance spaces and theater spaces that you would need. But if you or your friend that goes to UCI with you is interested in business, we have a part of our campus that's for the business students, which is for MBA and also an undergraduate major in business. I was a counselor many years ago for the School of Biosci, and this is UCI is a campus known for health sciences, and you'll find a lot of the students are interested in pre-health programs, pre-med, nursing, pharmacy, veterinary medicine. A lot of students will find their way into that particular school because it's a great preparation for those professional areas later. But then there's so many more things too, whether it's physical sciences, where we have 2 of our Nobel Prizes in Earth System Science, or humanities, which has a ton of different majors and interesting things like philosophy, media studies, film studies, journalism, and so on. But we also have really great things like social sciences, and we also have, along with our pharmacy school and our nursing school and our medical school, we have a professional school in business, which I mentioned before, and also we have a law school as well. A great way to just get started is just be undeclared though, and that's one of our most popular options. About the 3rd most popular, I think, at UCI currently. And then by being undeclared, you can actually come to us and try out any of these different areas and make a move into that major as you decide on it. So also, I said where you go to school is often where you make a start in life. And so you'd want to know that there's industry around you. And we're becoming known as the Silicon Coast. So sort of Silicon Valley comes south. So all of these technology companies, whether it's Google or it's entertainment companies like Blizzard and Disney, or whether it's Boeing, which is the aviation, or financial services companies like Edward Life Sciences, Goldman Sachs, Broadcom is a semiconductor company. All of these are around us. In fact, many, many Fortune 500 companies have offices in our area. And that makes it possible for you to do internships and also to seek out work experiences and start careers. Number 4, return on investment. It's really important that if you're going to make this leap from Oahu over to the mainland, that it's worth the money and that you're going to be able to see success at the end of it all. So one of those ways that you can see that is how well do students actually succeed in going forward in school. It's an amazing 94% of our first-year students will actually retain, which means they'll continue on into their 2nd year. And then often you'll hear graduation rates across the country that sort of situate around 60% for 4 years, maybe stretched out to 6 years. We do close to 70% for 4-year graduation and a full 85% for 6-year. Alumni success also, you have the benefit of just the networking that comes with over 1 million, close to 2 million UC alumni, and an ever expanding, growing Anteater network. We're the Anteaters, an original nickname and an original mascot, but also an original identity and a personality with our students. 5, Anteater Spirit and Active Student Learning. We are Division I. You'll see us all the time over there at competing against particularly UH. And we are also very famous for esports as well. And then you can be part of any number of 600 clubs and organizations. Last thing I'll say before I have to get off here is that we have some really peculiar fun on campus. This is one of the things we like to do at the start of every year, which is set a different Guinness Book World Record. This is us setting the second time we did it, the world record for the world's largest dodgeball game. If you find any of this helpful for you and you'd like to learn more about UCI, please take a picture of this QR code or go to this URL address and find out more. And thank you so much for your time, and really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you.
Great, thank you, David. Okay, and last but not least, we are going to go to Washington State University with Kim.
Hi, everyone. Hopefully you could see my screen. Hi, everyone. My name is Kim Dela Cruz Kelly. I'm with Washington State University. I'm an alum of Washington State University, so I graduated back in 2012. My sister is also an alum of Washington State University. She did the transfer route. So Cougar blood definitely runs through my family. I'm originally from Hawaii. I'm actually regionally based, so I live on Oahu. I'm out here on the west side in Ewa Beach, and so I do a lot of recruitment on island, and I visit the neighboring islands as well. Really excited to share more with you all about Washington State University. In addition to being an admissions counselor for our Hawaii students, I'm also a part of the orientation team, so I could really help you during the time of admission all the way until you're done with orientation, and I co-advise our Hawaii club, so even until graduation, we could stay connected as you navigate your way through Washington State University. You'll notice on each of my slides is a QR code. You could scan that at any time. If anything I say is like, I want to add Washington State University to my list of colleges to look more into, or for you seniors to apply to. So go ahead and utilize that QR code. So Washington State University is located on the eastern side of Washington. We are in Pullman, Washington. Don't let this rural imagery right here scare you. There's still lots and lots to do at Washington State University. The city of Pullman has about 34,000 people who live in it. 2/3 of that population are WSU students. So we are also in a college town. With a college town environment, you're definitely going to see a type of support in the community that isn't matched by not being in a college town. And you're definitely going to see a lot of crossover with folks working in the community and supporting the university and vice versa. Another great perk of being in a college town is you'll be around a fairly young crowd. So the average age of someone living in Pullman is 22. And that's really cool because you're going to be surrounded by a lot of people who are going through that same phase of life as you. So as an out-of-state student, maybe when you're experiencing that first set of homesickness, when November comes, you're going to be able to lean a little bit on your friends and your classmates who are also experiencing that same thing. So it's very supportive environment when you're thinking about Washington State University out here in Pullman. So we are a fairly large, medium-sized school, but even with over 20,000 students that attend school at the Pullman campus, we do keep our student-to-faculty ratio fairly low. We're at 16:1, and I do like to share this picture of our Hawaii club right here. This is from a couple years back. We hosted an annual luau every year during the springtime. We call it Mom's Weekend Luau, and so we have about 60 to about 100 students who are attending school from Hawaii every year. So you times that by about 4 or 5 years, depending on how long they're at WSU, and you get a fairly large population of Hawaii students. So you're definitely going to see a lot of folks who maybe look like you, talk like you, share the same food interests as you, and you can lean on them again for that support. A little bit of statistics here for you all. So about 30% of our students are multicultural and 34% of them are first gen. What that translates to for you as a student is there are a lot of resources available to you on campus. What I like to say is WSU has a meet students where they're at philosophy, where when you walk into someone's office on campus, they're going to try to talk to you in a way that you could understand best and make sure that you know exactly what you need to do, what your action items are when you leave their office. So you'll definitely feel that support throughout your time at WSU, from your faculty to your academic advisors and any of the staff that you interact with. If diversity is important to you, all 50 states are represented at Washington State University and over 100 countries. Something to know is that we do require you to live on campus if you are a first-time freshman. So if you're just going to graduate from high school and then attend school in the fall, you're going to be considered a first-year freshman and will be required to live on campus that first year. Because of that, we really are able to build a really kind of tight-knit community at WSU, which kind of feeds into campus life. We are a part of the Pac-12 conference, so we do have Division I sports. Down here, you see a packed football stadium with a lot of folks attending the game. Our little town of 34,000 people becomes double that, so about 60,000 people during any home game. A lot of our alumni come back to support the university. Lots of different ways for you to get involved. We have over 400 different clubs. We also have about 25% of our students on campus participate in Greek life. When I was an undergrad at WSU, I joined a Greek organization. So I joined an Asian American and Pacific Islander interest sorority while at WSU. But if Greek life isn't your thing, don't worry about that. Greek life isn't a make it or break it type of thing at WSU. In addition to having Pac-12 sports and also having a lot of clubs that you can get involved in, we do have a small committee of students who bring big city entertainers to small town Pullman. So a couple years ago, we had a Khalid concert on campus, and his tickets were $4 each for students to go see him. So lots of things that we do to try to keep costs low and bring you big city entertainment in a small town. And we understand that you're on that student life budget, so we want to make sure to keep those costs down. Lots of other ways to get involved on campus, in addition to our culturally based organizations like Hawaii Club, Pacific Islanders Club, Mitamitanga o Samoa, which is our Samoan club on campus. We also have a Filipino American Student Association that collaborates with other Filipino American clubs across the state and also in Oregon as well. So we have over 200 fields of study for you to choose from at Washington State University. Some of the ones that I like to highlight that many of our Hawaii students are interested in include our engineering colleges, our engineering business, and also our communication colleges as well. If you're interested in our honors college, that's something you could also apply to. And it looks like I'm out of time here, so I'm going to go ahead and skip a couple of slides so that you can get more information about our WUI. So this is something you can take a screenshot of. We are a WUI school. We offer two types, one for high school students and also some for transfer students if that's the path you want to take to WSU. If you're interested, our application is open and you can apply now. January 31st is the deadline to remember for Washington State. That's when we want you to apply, submit your scholarship application, and fill out your FAFSA by January 31st of every year that you're applying to. And if you want to learn more, here again is my contact information. My name is Kim Dela Cruz Kelly. I'm with Washington State University. Feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in learning more about WSU. Thank you so much for your time.
Great. Thank you, Kim. Okay, with that, we just want to say thank you to all of the students who joined us tonight. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about these schools and universities that you're interested in. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. So if you don't mind taking a couple of minutes to fill that out for us, we really appreciate any feedback that you have. Also, don't forget, this is just one of many sessions that are being hosted today and this week. So be sure to check the website where you signed up, sign up for any additional sessions you might be interested in. And then as well, in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the others at that same website. So again, thank you for joining us. Have a great evening. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out directly to our representatives, and I'm sure they will be reaching out to you as well. So have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon, or afternoon, I guess, for you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Mahalo.